Well, let's begin the conversation this morning. And Joan, so the EC is saying that it's a two things. It's a breach of security protocol as well as voters' privacy. Of course, you being a legal person will have perspective from this angle. What are your thoughts on this, and why the need for deployment of drones? We've never done that thus far. If there's ever been a deployment of drones, it's been by the security agencies and not political parties.
Why the deployment of drones?
Yes.
You know, you would realize that actions of, either individuals or groups is always necessitated by past events or guided by past events. And we all know, having gone through the 2020 elections with all the issues that, surrounded the elections and all that, the NDC as a political party has taken notes from the fallouts of 2020 elections and has decided, like the Greater Accra Regional Chairman has stated, has decided to put measures in place to ensure, like they have stated, as a reason for the deployment, is to ensure that the votes of anybody who comes out on that day to vote for the NDC is secured and safeguarded. Now, what is the EC's fear? That there will be infringement on the voter privacy,
as well as breach of security
protocols. You see, when Mr. Sribo spoke, he himself indicated that before the NDC can take any step to make use of these drones, first and foremost, they need to seek permission. There's a process that one ought to go through.
Yeah.
So for me, I think that the EC is being unnecessarily worried or disturbed. There are protocols, there are laid down procedures that anybody who wants to monitor elections, being foreign observers, being it international, being it groups, individuals, there's a laid down procedure that you go through. The NDC is a law-abiding political party. There's a legal department, that will definitely advise the party executives on any steps they intend to take as far as these deployments are concerned.
Okay.
So I do not see why the EC is jittery over these matters. And let me tell you something. For me, I believe that if there's anything the EC should do, they should rather appreciate the NDC for taking the steps.
Really?
The deployment of these drones are to supplement their efforts. In any case, we have witnessed ballot boxes being snatched during elections. And we have witnessed, there has been issues of vote padding and what have you, but there hasn't been evidence. If you have drones to supplement the efforts of the EC, what is wrong with that? In any case, let me just conclude by saying that the issue of infringement of voter rights, if you are going for permit to fly drones, definitely there will be some perimeter within which that drone will be permitted to fly.
Yeah.
How low can that go to be able to capture who is voting for who? Then again, you see, let's not forget that the electoral process, the voting is not only limited to the voting. It is a process, counting, moving of ballot boxes from one point to the other and all that. So the NDC is not saying that they are only interested in the voting.
Okay.
It could be some perimeters far away from where the voting is taking place. All the NDC is interested in is to ensure that at the end of the day, every single vote that is counted, it is voted, will be counted for and will be counted for in the rightful way. So I don't see why the EC should be unnecessarily worried about this, matter.
Well, the EC is the one that has been entrusted with the responsibility to make sure that the election is free and fair. The NDC, after leaving the IPAC for years, has returned. Is it not rather better in consultation with the EC to say that let's tighten security, let's make sure that things are, happen fairly and all of that, as opposed to taking, a so moto decision, as a party to say let's protect our votes?
Let me first and foremost make this correction that it is inaccurate that the EC has the sole responsibility of ensuring a free and fair election. Election management is done by interested parties, actors within the political system, of which the political parties are also a part of. And in this case, the NDC. Like I stated earlier, the NDC is not taking the law into its hands to say we are going to just fly drones. There are procedures that one ought to go through. In any case, the media houses, when you go for coverage, your camera is not allowed.
Yeah.
There is a point where you are given a certain parameter within which to operate. So the same, cases that are extended to the media houses. If the NDC goes to seek that permission and they look at the circumstances of the issue and give them those parameters to operate, I don't think that anybody should be disturbed, or it is in any way going to disturb the peace or the flow of the elections. I don't think so.
All right, let me come to Ellen. Yes, good morning.
To our viewers, good morning. Is it Joan or Joan? Joan. You're welcome back. I heard you started sometime and you stopped.
No,
this is your first time?
It's your first time.
Oh, okay. Welcome
It's a pleasure to be with you.
Yes, welcome to the to the situation. It's a tough space, but I mean you'll survive. We all survive. Yes, you are welcome.
Thank you.
About the NDC and the drone matter, I find it quite interesting that at least the Greater Accra is it chairman. So it means the Greater Accra branch of the NDC are gradually getting up to tax and up to the times. Because if you remember, a few years ago when the Vice President mentioned that it was possible to get drones to deliver medical supplies to certain remote areas of our country, we got their National Women's Organizer, Madam Hanabisio, telling Ghanaians that that shouldn't be allowed because the drones will be taking naked pictures of women who are bathing. The whole National Women's Organizer. When the drones' effectiveness and efficacy, after about 4 or 5 years, we are all now know what drones can do. So I'm happy that finally the NDC is coming on board on this matter of digitalization, on this matter of getting advanced technology to do certain services for us. Honestly, I really don't see what the problem is. If the NDC believes that it's the drone that will count their votes for them, well, it's their belief. I mean, they have a right to it. What they have to do is to, as she said, go through the right processes and get the permits like every other person who wants to fly a drone at any event gets permits to do. I mean, when we have our political party campaigns or programs, government campaigns, programs, personal, people do funerals, parties, people fly drones. I'm sure they get permits for it. So EC, what the EC can do is to up their game and also expand their rules and regulations and inculcate drones and flying of whatever it is into the system, because Ghana is moving, the world is changing. So definitely, if the NDC in Greater Accra believes that it is drones that will help them to collate their results, because the last time I checked, they couldn't collate their results. So if it is now going to be drones that will help them, being an MPP person, I don't think it's a problem, because I don't know what the plans of the NPP in Greater Accra is. But they might also decide to also fly drones on that day. So honestly, I don't see what the problem is. I think the EC can just expand their rules and regulations and let this come in.
In the sense that there will be cameras there anyway.
So if we decide to have the cameras,
drone is just a camera in the
sky.
That's all it is.
So it's just that we should have parameters, as she said. It shouldn't come all the way down into the ballot box to be looking at who people are voting for. That one would be against the rules. But if it's just flying, taking aerial views and shots and checking out for whatever it is. Honestly, I don't see anything why we should be up in arms over it. They should just open up, and as they know, times are changing. They themselves are trying to operationalize their stuff and make it more technologically savvy. So what's their beef? I'm just happy that finally the NDC is on board. That drones will not take pictures of naked women.
Okay, all right.